What's poppin' YouTube? It's ATL Rich, aka Saint Rich in the building. Today we finna show y'all how to mix your vocals like a pro. Make sure y'all hit the subscribe button, man. Let's go. Alright, pulling up this session, man. We got this session out. This is a song I did. Didn't really spend too much time with it. Guys, it's always important. Please make sure you get your right gain levels with your microphone. Make sure you have everything set up properly, man. Don't be too close to the microphone. Make sure you have that fixed distance from you and the microphone. Make sure your vocals aren't peaking. Make sure they're not too low. So make sure that gain is right, man. Make sure you're recording the right way, man. Let's go ahead and get into the mix, though.
Suited, I'm going to the moon. Moving too fast, you truck up the move. Hop on the PJ and change up the mood. Posting your name, now she look her taste in her mouth. Extra blue cheese, we talking amounts. Gas 93 and I'm smoking it out. They look at the wrist, it might be a brick. 5,000 pieces to walk through the air. Look at my sleeve, got ice everywhere. 5,000 pieces that cost you a pair. Chain, I white, they call me the man. Even the night, they call me the slayer. You ain't got your pack, I slide a little layer. Grab me that beat, I grab it, I lay it. My motion is out, my swag is contagious. Blue, you chewy, I'm hot, I'm faded. Double that kid that you doing, I'm raising. Half a pit, I be instantly bashing on her knees and she stuck with my slime beat. They pay, might need me at right seat. Yeah, I'm not saying this twilight is not me. Keep it two play, don't remember her be. Spinning the cat, I turn on the tracks.
All right, man. So we're gonna go ahead and get into this next plugin, man. I'm gonna show y'all this next plugin and what it sounds like and what I did with it. So what I did was add a REQ6, and I just basically did some subtractors with this EQ. So what I did was I subtracted around the 80 to 100 hertz. So this is what I did. So around like 100 hertz, I went ahead and subtracted that down. And also, what I also did around the 249, I just subtracted around 3.3 dB. So that's what I did right there, man. I also subtracted around the 481 mark, and I just subtracted that around another 6.3 dB. So that's a bit overkill on that, but that's what I did on this vocal. I also subtracted around the 1K mark, and I just subtracted that around 3.6. Also around the 3K mark, subtracted it around 3.8. And around the 7K mark, I subtracted around 3.6. So I'm going to go ahead and show y'all what this sound like with it on and with it bypass. So let's go pay bypass first.
Suited, I'm going to the moon. Moving too fast, you truck up the move. Hop on the PJ and change up the mood. Posting your name, now she look her taste in her mouth. Extra blue cheese, we talking amounts. Gas 93 and I'm smoking it out. They look at the wrist, it might be a brick. 5,000 pieces to walk through the air. Look at my sleeve, got ice everywhere. 5,000.
We're going to show y'all what it on.
Suited, I'm going to the moon. Moving too fast, you truck up the move. Hop on the PJ and change up the mood. Posting your name, now she look her taste in her mouth. Extra blue cheese, we talking amounts. Gas 93 and I'm smoking it out. They look at the wrist, it might be a brick. 5,000 pieces to walk through the air. Look at my sleeve, got ice everywhere. 5,000 pieces that cost you a pair. Chain, I white, they call me the man. Even the night, they call me the slayer. You ain't got your pack, I slide a little layer. Grab me that beat, I grab it, I lay it. My motion is out, my swag is contagious. Blue, you chew.
All right, man. So that's what it sounds like with it on, man. So we're gonna get into the next plugin. I also added another EQ, and this is the Q10. I just did some more subtracting with this EQ. Around the 400 marks, man, I just went ahead and subtracted around 3 to 4 dB. Also, around the 300 mark, I went ahead and subtracted that around another 3 dB. Around the 1K mark, I subtracted that 1K mark, another 3 dB. I also subtracted 7 around the 6K mark, like 7 dB around the 6K mark, which is a little overkill too. But went ahead and did that. Around the 2K mark, I subtracted around 3 to 4 dB. And around the 3K mark, I subtracted it from 3 to 5 dB. So that's what I did right there, man. I'm gonna show y'all what it sounds like with it on. Then I'm gonna show y'all what that sound like with it out. So we're gonna play this shit for y'all real quick.
Half the scooter, I'm going to the moon. Moving too fast, you truck up the move. Hop on the PJ and change up the mood. Posted your name, now she look her ass tasting her mouth. Extra blue cheese, we talking amounts. Gas on the 3 and no smoking it out. You look at the wrist, it might be a brick. 5,000 pieces to walk through the air. Look at my sleeve, got ice everywhere.
Now we gonna play with it on.
Half the scooter, I'm going to the moon. Moving too fast, you truck up the move. Hop on the PJ and change up the mood. Posted your name, now she look her ass tasting her mouth. Extra blue cheese, we talking amounts. Gas on the 3 and no smoking it out. You look at the wrist, it might be a brick. 5,000.
All right, so we're gonna show y'all basically what some of those frequencies sound like, and basically I just took out those frequencies that I do not like. So those frequencies that really irritated me, those frequencies that I really didn't like. Some of the frequencies that give that boxiest feeling or tin can sounding feeling, just those type of frequencies that I really don't like and I don't want in my mix. So I'm gonna show y'all what some of those frequencies sound like and why I took those out. So I'm gonna go ahead and show y'all what some of this frequency sounds like. So I'm gonna go ahead and make it more dramatic so you can hear what's going on, and I'm also gonna solo it real quick so you can also hear a little bit better of basically what's going on. So
half the scooter, I'm going to the moon. Moving too fast, you truck up the move. Hop on the PJ and change up the mood. Posted.
So that frequency right there, I just went ahead and subtracted that all.
Half the scooter, I'm going to the moon. Moving too fast, you truck up the move. Hop on the PJ and change up the mood. Posted your name, now she look her ass tasting her mouth. Extra blue cheese, we talking about.
Just like this. I'm gonna show y'all what this frequency sound like.
Half the scooter, I'm going to the moon. Moving too fast, you truck up the move. Hop on the PJ and change up the mood. Posted your name, now she look her ass tasting her mouth.
So it gives it that tin canish type sound to it. I just went ahead and subtracted that motherfucker all the way down to like 3 dB.
Half the scooter, I'm going to the moon. Moving too fast, you truck up the move. Hop on the PJ and change up the mood. Posted your name, now she look her ass tasting her mouth.
Show y'all what this sound like.
Half the scooter, I'm going to the moon. Moving too fast, you truck up the move. Hop on the PJ and change up the mood. Posted your name, now she look her ass tasting her mouth. Extra blue cheese, we talking amounts. Gas on the 3 and no smoking it out. You look at the wrist. Half the scooter, I'm going to the moon. Moving too fast, you truck up the move. Hop on the PJ and change up the mood. Posted your name, now she look her ass tasting her mouth.
So that's what that sounds like, man. That's what that EQ is doing to this vocal. So that's what I did. So we're gonna get into the next plugin, man. What I added was a C4 multi-band. What I did was around the mids, around 4K, and the highs around like 8K. I did some subtracting and also some I subtracted that around 40 around the highs, and around the lows I did about negative 20, negative 30 dB. So that's what I did right there. So it just ranges from 20 to like 43 dB negative. So I'm gonna show y'all what this sounds like with it on, and we're gonna show y'all what that sound like with it off.
Half the scooter, I'm going to the moon. Moving too fast, you truck up the move. Hop on the PJ and change up the mood. Posted your name, now she look her ass tasting her. Extra blue cheese, we talking amounts. Gas on the 3 and no smoking it out. You look at the wrist, it might be a brick.
So we're gonna show y'all what it sound like with it on.
Half the scooter, I'm going to the moon. Moving too fast, you truck up the move. Hop on the PJ and change up the mood. Posted your name, now she look her ass tasting her mouth. Extra blue cheese, we talking amounts. Gas on the 3 and no smoking it out. You look at the wrist, it might be a brick. 5,000 pieces to walk through the air. Look at my shit.
All right, so that's what it sounds like with it on, man. That's what it sounds like. So after my EQing, the C4, I added a de-esser around the 5K mark. And that basically just was my little sweet spot I had for this song and my voice. And I just subtracted that for about negative 40, negative 44. I'm going to show y'all what it sounds like with it on and what it bypassed to.
Half the scooter, I'm going to the moon. Moving too fast, you truck up the move. Hop on the PJ and change up the mood.
Show y'all what it on.
Half the scooter, I'm going to the moon. Moving too fast, you truck up the move. Hop on the PJ and change up the mood. Posted your name, now she look her ass tasting her mouth. Extra blue cheese, we talking amounts. Gas on the 3 and no smoking it out. You look at the wrist, it might be a brick.
All right, man. So that's just controlling those S's, those T's, those and all those. So basically, we just controlling that a little bit more and cleaning that up. All right. So what I did, plugin I added next was B76. This is a compressor. What I did was an input I added around 30 and the output around 10. I have the attack around 5 and the release around 3. So we can go ahead and show y'all what this sounds like with it on and with it off.
Happy scooter, I'm going to the moon. Moving too fast, you truck up the move. Hop on the PJ and change up the mood. Posting your name, now she look her ass tasting her mouth. Extra blue cheese, we talking the mouse. Gas on the 3 and I'm smoking it out. You look at the wrist, it might be a brick. 5,000 pieces to walk through the air. Look at my sleeve, got ice everywhere. 5,000 pieces to cost you a pair. Chain, that white, they call me the man. Even the night, they call me the slayer. You ain't got your pipe, I slide a little layer. Hand me that beat, I grab it, I lay it. My motion is up, my swag in her tail.
All right, man. So that's what that compressor sounds like with it on there. I added another compressor, which was the RVox, and I added the gate around -35, and I have the ratio around -3. I'm gonna show y'all what that sounds like with it on and with it off.
Happy scooter, I'm going to the moon. Moving too fast, you truck up the move. Hop on the PJ and change up the mood. Posting your name, now she look her ass tasting her mouth. Extra blue cheese, we talking the mouse. Gas on the 3 and I'm smoking it out. You look at the wrist, it might be a brick. 5,000 pieces to walk through the air. Just look at my sleeve, got ice everywhere. 5,000 pieces to cost you a pair. Chain, that white, they call me the man. Even the night, they call me the slayer. You ain't got your pipe, I slide a little layer.
All right, so that's what that sounds like with it on there. I also added a BF two-way, and the BF two-way I have around like 65 on the gain, and about 70 to 75 on the peak reduction. We're gonna show y'all what they sound like with it on. We're gonna show y'all what they sound like with it off.
Happy scooter, I'm going to the moon. Moving too fast, you truck up the move. Hop on the PJ and change up the mood. Posting your name, now she look her ass tasting her mouth. Extra blue cheese, we talking the mouse. Gas on the 3 and I'm smoking it out. You look at the wrist, it might be a brick. 5,000 pieces to walk through the air. Just look at my sleeve, got ice everywhere. 5,000 pieces to cost you a pair. Chain, that white, they call me the man. Even the night, they call me the slayer. You ain't got your pipe, I slide a little layer. Hand me that beat, I grab it, I lay it. My motion is up, my swag in her tail. Blue, you chewy, I'm hot, I'm faded. Double the kid that you doing, I'm raising. Half a pill, I be itching these bad skin on her knees and she suck up my slime beat. They pay, my knee be at right, see, I'm just having this try to this, not me. Keeping 2 plates, don't remember, R&B.
All right. So what I added next was this EQ, and this is from Waves. All right. So and what I did with this EQ around the 4K mark, I did some boosting around about another dB. Around the 1K mark on the high mid frequencies, I did some boosting around the 1K mark, and I just added 3 dB of that. Around the 330 mark, I did some boosting about 1 dB. And then on the low pass filter, I have that set to 10, and the high pass filter I have set to 47 to 32 to 47, in that range. So that's what I'm show y'all what it sounds like with it on, and show y'all what it sounds like with it off.
Happy scooter, I'm going to the moon. Moving too fast, you truck up the move. Hop on the PJ and change up the mood. Posting your name, now she look her ass tasting her mouth. Extra blue cheese, we talking the mouse. Gas on the 3 and I'm smoking it out. You look at the wrist, it might be a brick. 5,000 pieces to walk through the air. Just look at my sleeve, got ice everywhere. 5,000 pieces to cost you a pair. Chain, that white, they call me the man. Even the night, they call me the slayer. You ain't got your pipe, I slide a little layer. Hand me that beat, I grab it, I lay it. My motion is up, my swag in her tail. Blue, you chewy, I'm hot, I'm faded. Double the kid that you doing, I'm raising. Half a pill, I be itching these bad skin on her knees and she suck up my slime beat. They pay, my knee be at right, see, I'm just having this try to this, not me. Keeping 2 plates, don't remember, R&B. Spinning the cat, I turn on the track speed. Like this, I'm about it, I hate on nobody. You can't in no purse, I buy you a mask. 610 when I walk out the family. Serving it right like we working her bocce. Burger on burger, you call me on Pluto. I'm running these gas, I call up your jeweler. Popping these tags, you might need a ruler. My wrist is just traveling, dripping these fluid.
So that's what this EQ sound like, man. But I'm gonna go ahead, and after that EQ, man, I just added a second de-esser to this motherfucker. It's basically to control those motherfucker S's, them T's when you EQing, man. You start getting into them, you start boosting, you start to get into that harshness, and a lot of those S's, T's, and everything else will come out a little bit more. So what I did was just add another de-esser to I have this DS around the 4K mark. I'm gonna show y'all what this sounds like with it on, and show y'all what it sounds like with it off.
Scooter, I'm going to the moon. Moving too fast, you truck up the move. Hop on the PJ and change up the mood. Posting Janae, she look her ass tasting her mouth. Extra blue cheese, we talking the mouse. Gas on the 3 and I'm smoking it out. Just look at the wrist, it might be a brick. 5,000 pieces to walk through the air. Just look at my sleeve, got ass everywhere. 5,000 pieces that cost you a pair. Can't no way, they call me the man. Even the night, they call me the slayer. You ain't got that pay, I slide a little later. Hand me that beat, I grab it, I lay it. My motion is up, my swag is contagious.
All right, man. Also, what I added next was this real tape saturation, and I basically just kept this thing bone stop default. I ain't do nothing to it. I have it in the classic mode, and I have this set to US. So that's what that is. And I'm gonna show y'all what this sound like with it on, and then I'm gonna show y'all what it sound like with it off.
Scooter, I'm going to the moon. Moving too fast, you truck up the move. Hop on the PJ and change up the mood. Posting Janae, she look her ass tasting her mouth. Extra blue cheese, we talking the mouse. Gas on the 3 and I'm smoking it out. Just look at the wrist.
So that's what it sound like with it bypass, and I'm gonna show y'all what it sounds like with it on.
Scooter, I'm going to the moon. Moving too fast, you truck up the move. Hop on the PJ and change up the mood. Posting Janae, she look her ass tasting her mouth. Extra blue cheese, we talking the mouse. Gas on the 3 and I'm smoking it out. Just look at the wrist, it might be a brick. 5,000 pieces to walk through the air.
So that's what it sound like with it on, man. So what I added next was this studio rack, and I'm gonna show y'all everything that I have inside this studio rack and how it sounds. So what I added in this studio rack, I added a Q10 EQ. I did some more subtracting. So around the 500 hertz mark, I just subtracted around 4 dB to clean up some of that low end mud that I'm hearing. And I also added subtracted some around the 1K mark, and I just subtracted it around 6 dB, which is dramatic, very dramatic. But that's what I did as well. I just added that around like the 5 to the 6 dB mark. So that's what I did right there. So just subtracted that around there, man. It's around the 6 dB mark right there. I'm gonna show y'all what this sounds like with it on too, and with it off as well. What I added next was this R aux. I just basically set the threshold to -10. And then I added the tech around 9. This tech by 9. And I'm gonna show y'all what that sounds like as well. What I added next was this sapphire. And I basically just left this pretty much close to stock. I used the preset vocal cider, and I didn't do too much to this, so I just kept this basically stock on this preset, which is the vocal cider. And I'm gonna show y'all what that sounds like as well. I also added this vitamin to spread those vocals out a little bit more, to make the vocals sit in the mix a little bit better. So make sure that vocals cut through that mix clean. So that's what I did, man, to make those vocals cut through that mix and make them sit better in that mix. And this is what I did with them, and these are the settings I have for them. So around the 8 low mid frequency around 800, the high mid frequency is around 2K, and then the high frequency is around 8K. So we're gonna go ahead and show y'all what this sounds like with it on, and we're gonna show y'all what it sounds like with it off. So let's go plug in by pulling. Let's do the Q10 first.
Scooter, I'm going to the moon. Moving too fast, you truck up the move. Hop on the PJ and change up the mood. Posting Janae, she look her ass tasting her mouth. Extra blue cheese, we talking the mouse. Gas on the 3 and I'm smoking it out. Just look at the wrist, it might be a brick.
We're gonna show y'all what this R aux sounds like with it on, and we're gonna show y'all what it sounds like with it off.
Scooter, I'm going to the moon. Moving too fast, you truck up the move. Hop on the PJ and change up the mood. Posting Janae, she look her ass tasting her mouth. Extra blue cheese, we talking the mouse. Gas on the 3 and I'm smoking it out. Just look at the wrist, it might be a brick.
I'm gonna show y'all what this sapphire sounds like.
Half the scooter, I'm going to the moon. Moving too fast, you choke up the move. Hop on a PJ and change up the mood. Posting your name, now she look her head tasting that mouth. Extra blue cheese, we talking amounts. Gas 93 and I'm smoking it out. Just look at the wrist, it might be a brick. 5,000 people.
That's what I added to that studio rap, man. That's what I did in there. What I also added was another EQ, and this just the REQ, and I basically did some boosting on this. So I boosted around the 71 frequencies mark, just a little bit, about 1 dB. I subtracted around the 493 mark, and I subtracted that around 0.6. I subtracted again around the 986, and I subtracted that around 1 dB. Around the 2K frequencies, I actually gained that 1.3, so I boosted that about 1.3. All right, and around the 7K mark, I boosted it again by another 1.3, 1.6. So I'm gonna show y'all what that sounds like as well.
Half the scooter, I'm going to the moon. Moving too fast, you choke up the move. Hop on a PJ and change up the mood. Posting your name, now she look her head tasting that mouth. Extra blue cheese, we talking amounts. Gas 93 and I'm smoking it out. Just look at the wrist, it might be a brick. 5,000 pieces to walk through the air. Just look at my sleeve, got ice everywhere. 5,000 pieces that cost you a pair. But chain, I wait, they call me the man. Even the night, they call me the slayer. You ain't got your pack, I slide a little layer. Grab me that beat, I grab it, I lay it. My motion is up, my swag and hotel.
Alright, man, so that's what that sounds like with that on there. I added another EQ and I just did some more boosting with that. All I did was boost around the 234. I boosted again around the 526. And then the 2K mark, I boosted 3.2. And I added on the 4K mark, 14K mark, I boosted 1.3. I'm gonna show y'all what it sounds like with it on. I'm gonna show y'all what it sounds like with it off too.
Half the scooter, I'm going to the moon. Moving too fast, you choke up the move. Hop on a PJ and change up the mood. Posting your name, now she look her head tasting that mouth. Extra blue cheese, we talking amounts. Gas 93 and I'm smoking it out. Just look at the wrist, it might be a brick. 5,000 pieces to walk through the air. Just look at my sleeve, got ice everywhere. 5,000 pieces that cost you a pair. But chain, I wait, they call me the man. Even the night, they call me the slayer. You ain't got your pack, I slide a little layer. Grab me that beat, I grab it, I lay it. My motion is up, my swag and contagious. Blue chewy, I'm hot, I'm faded. Double the kid that you doing, I'm raising. Half a pit, I be itching, need by scene on her knees and she suck up my slime beat. They paint, might need me at right see. I'm not saying this twice, it is not me. Keeping two plates, don't remember my bitch. Spinning the cat, I turn on the track speed. Like this, I'm about it, I hate on nobody. You can't in no purse, I fight you a match. 600 tab when I walk out of Fally. Serving it right like we work at Hibachi. Burger on burger, you call me on Pluto, I'm running this game.
Alright, man, so that's what that sound like. Also, I want to let y'all know, man, a lot of these takes, these weren't the best of the best takes. This was freestyle, so I did it real quick, real quick. So a lot of these takes isn't the best takes. So this is basically how you getting this sound with the poorest takes ever. You did hear what I said? So basically, if you have bad takes and you can't go back to record or whatever it may be, and you don't have access to do it right now, and you satisfied with how you did it the first time and it was a bad take, you wanted to keep it, all of this will still work. All of these mixes would definitely still work with it. And these, like, again, these not the best takes. A lot of these takes I needed to redo, but I worked it with what I got for this video. Purpose of this video, to show y'all the real raw, so y'all can see. We're using the NT1A microphone, we're using the Volt interface, and that is it. That's it, nothing else. So a lot of people will have this type of setup, and this is not like other YouTube videos where they have hardware, they have compressors, they have actual EQs, and they're running that high-end microphone through those EQs and the compressors. So this is not that. A lot of those videos that you see on the internet, on YouTube, they have hardware, and they have this microphone running through preamps, they have it running through compressors and everything else. So this is basically just a setup for an artist or producer or whoever on a budget. And this is basically just a budget set, how to get the best sounding out of this budget setup. This is what we're working with. All right, let's get into what else I added. I added a one band EQ, And I just did some subtracting around the 300 mark, and I'm gonna show y'all what that sounds like as well.
Moving too fast, you choke up the move. Hop on the PJ and change up the mood. Posting your name, now she look her taste in her mouth. Extra blue cheese, we talking amounts. Gas 93 and no smoking it out. Just look at the wrist, it might be a brick. 5,000 pieces to walk through the air. Just look at my sleeve, got ass everywhere. 5,000 pieces that cost you a pair. My chain, that white, they call me the man. Even the night, they call me the slayer. You ain't got your pack, I slide a little layer. Grab me that beat, I grab it, I lay it. My motion is out, my swag and contagious. Bluey, chewy, I'm hot, I'm faded. Double the kid that you doing, numbers. Half a pit, I be itching, need bad scene on her knees and she suck up my slime beat. They pay, might need me at right see. I'm not telling this twice, it is not me. Keeping two plates, don't remember R&B. Spinning the cat, I turn on the track speed. That is on body, I hate on nobody. You can't in no purse, I buy you a mask. 600 tag when I walk out the family. Serving it right like we working hibachi. Burger on burger, you call me on Pluto. I'm running this gas, I call up your jeweler. Popping these tags, you might need a ruler. My wrist is just trafficking, dripping these fluids. Moving too fast, you choke up the move. Hop on the PJ and change up the mood. Posting your name, now she look her taste in her mouth. Extra blue cheese, we talking amounts. Gas 93 and no smoking it out. Just look at the wrist, it might be a brick. 5,000 pieces to walk through the air.
Alright, so that's what that sounds like, man. Also, what I added was this trans H multi. And basically, this just made it more wider, spread those vocals out a little bit more. I also was going to use this vitamin, and this vitamin can also do the same thing. It's spreading those vocals out and basically cutting those vocals to cut through that mix, man. So I'm gonna go ahead and show y'all what this sounds like with it on and bypassed.
Moving too fast, you choke up the move. Hop on the PJ and change up the mood. Posting your name, now she look her taste in her mouth. Extra blue cheese, we talking amounts. Gas 93 and no smoking it out. Just look at the wrist, it might be a brick. 5,000 pieces to walk through the air. Just look at my sleeve, got ass everywhere. 5,000 pieces that cost you a pair. My chain, that white, they call me the man. Even the night, they call me the slayer. You ain't got your pack, I slide a little layer. Grab me that beat, I grab it, I lay it. My motion is out, my swag and contagious.
And man, that completes this vocal chain, man. I'm gonna go ahead and play this song from beginning to end, just so y'all can see the whole product of this song and what I did with this mix particularly. I did not spend amounts of hours with this mix, but this is a great way to get a starting point for the mixes. So this is the mix that I have for this. I'm gonna go ahead and play this all the way from the beginning so you can vibe out and see how this sounds.
I'm going to the moon. Moving too fast, you choke up the move. Hop on the PJ and change up the mood. Posting your name, now she look her taste in her mouth. Extra blue cheese, we talking amounts. Gas 93 and no smoking it out. Just look at the wrist, it might be a brick. 5,000 pieces to walk through the air. Just look at my sleeve, got ass everywhere. 5,000 pieces that cost you a pair. My chain, that white, they call me the man. Even the night, they call me the slayer. You ain't got your pack, I slide a little layer. Grab me that beat, I grab it, I lay it. My motion is out, my swag and contagious. Bluey, chewy, I'm hot, I'm faded. Double the kid that you doing, numbers. Half a pit, I be itching, need bad scene on her knees and she suck up my slime beat. They pay, might need me at right see. I'm not telling this twice, it is not me. Keeping two plates, don't remember R&B. Spinning the cat, I turn on the track speed. That is on body, I hate on nobody. You can't in no purse, I buy you a mask. 600 tag when I walk out the family. Serving it right like we working hibachi. Burger on burger, you call me on Pluto. I'm running this gas, I call up your jeweler. Popping these tags, you might need a ruler. My wrist is just trafficking, dripping these fluids. My wrist is just trafficking, dripping these fluids. My wrist is just trafficking, dripping these fluids. Suited, I'm going to the moon. Moving too fast, you choke up the move. Hop on the PJ and change up the mood. Posting your name, now she look her taste in her mouth. Extra blue cheese, we talking amounts. Gas 93 and no smoking it out. Just look at the wrist, it might be a brick. 5,000 pieces to walk through the air. Just look at my sleeve, got ass everywhere. 5,000 pieces that cost you a pair. My chain, that white, they call me the man. Even the night, they call me the slayer. You ain't got your pack, I slide a little layer. Grab me that beat, I grab it, I lay it. My motion is out, my swag and contagious.
Also, man, Let me go ahead and include, man. I forgot to mention, man. I also added this lo-fi to add some distortion to the vocals. So this is what I did. And I'm gonna show y'all what it sounds like with it on and with it off as well too.
No purse, I buy you a mask. 610 when I walk out of Philly. Serving it right like we work at Hibachi. Half the suited, I'm going to the moon. Moving too fast, you choke up the move. Hop on the PJ and change up the mood. Posting your name, that she look her tasting that mouth. Extra blue cheese, we talking up.
And man, that completes this video, man. Alright, man. Make sure y'all hit that like button, man. Hit that subscribe button, man. Tap into me, man. Hit the website, man. It's going brazy, bro. Go ahead and grab you some presets, man. Go ahead and get your mixes right, man. By grabbing these presets, man. You cannot go wrong. Make sure you grab a template or a preset from the website so you can up your mixes to the next level. And I'll see y'all niggas in the next one. Let's go.